Every 7 minutes, a baby or toddler in America is removed from his parents' care because of alleged abuse or neglect. From their first moments of life, these children are learning that the world is a frightening and a dangerous place. The Safe Babies court teams shift the paradigm to help everyone focus on the best interests of the babies. I'm Matthew Melmed, Executive Director of 0 to 3. We're a national nonprofit whose mission is to promote the health and development of our nation's babies and toddlers. 0 to 3 has ongoing educational initiatives across the country. We apply evidence-based approaches so that the Safe Babies court teams have access to the latest knowledge about how to best promote early childhood development.
Given the testimony in this case, I would order that legal custody of the minor children remain with the Office of Community Services. When I first came on the bench, what I found here, and was pretty much the same around the nation, was lots of cases in which children had been in care for years, and I mean 5-10 years.
The child protection system treated children as blocks that you could move according to what was convenient for you. We did not look at children and their emotional needs.
Moving around from family to family prevents a child from developing one of the most important core processes that is essential for development, and that is attachment, which can be defined as having an enduring social bond with another. It is one of those core developmental processes that really allows a child to gain other kinds of developmental advances.
Brain development proceeds at a much more faster pace in the early months and years of life. And there are important developmental processes that are going through a dynamic change every second, every minute, every day of this child's life.
The science of early childhood development has taught us a lot about the impact of trauma on the brain and how neuronal connections are influenced and formed based on positive experiences or negative experiences. The more adverse early child experiences that a child has, the more negative both the physical outcomes and the mental health outcomes in adulthood.
If a child's brain has wired itself for living in a world full of threat and danger and stress, if that experience is not changed, then that brain can have long-term behavioral consequences.
And they grow up to be young adults or teenagers who are very needy for love and attention and go on to have children that they can't care for because they're not prepared, and they re-enter the foster care system. This team stops that.
Exhibits 1 through and including 5 are admitted.
The court team's project that 0 to 3 has is trying to do many things differently, but from my perspective, the most advantageous thing they're trying to do is say, let's create a system of care around the needs of babies. Put a spotlight on them, and let's think about the particular needs that they have and the particular services we know will help them move along the developmental trajectory, but also help their parents, be they biological parents or foster parents, take better care of them.
As you know, anytime a child is removed from parents' custody, the possible outcome is termination of your parental rights. But this case looks like it's on a good track to reunification. And it isn't just judges, it isn't just lawyers, it's important for the whole community to come together and problem-solve ways to reduce trauma.
As a 0 to 3 coordinator, I think I've more or less been identified as a navigator, as a go-to person for resources in the community because I've had the opportunity to find the resources in the community and bringing them together.
With our house, we have, in January, we're going to be starting 3 new groups. Ages we're going to be focusing on are 0 to 12 months, 1 to 3, and then our 6 and above, 6 and 11 years old. So I'll be sending out those flyers.
When people saw that it was a better way for delivering services, then everyone got pretty interested in joining forces and problem solving with us at the community level as well as in the courtroom.
We know that if we get it right for babies, we stand a greater chance of making sure that they graduate from high school, they can go on to college, that they don't go into the juvenile justice system as a delinquent, that they don't go into the criminal justice system as adults. All those things can be impacted when we get it right for babies.
The Safe Babies court teams have been so successful that more than 99% of the babies and toddlers served have experienced no further maltreatment.
We are going to always be thinking about tomorrow because we are building a child's tomorrow today.